Hello everybody, I'm Rez and Gask, and welcome back to another Bionicle MOC review. Today we're taking a look at two more MOCs. I know I've kind of been showing off doubles of MOCs lately, but this is Gask and Rez in that order on the camera. These are two villains that briefly appeared in a post-credit scene for episode 12, and I'll explain a little bit about them, but this is mostly about the MOCs. Now Rez, the red snake guy, first appeared in the Christmas special. He looked kind of different. I've changed his design since then, but basically the idea is still there. He is Tempolini's informant, so he is kind of, what's the dude from Daredevil? I don't remember his name. The guy with the glasses, that guy. He handles all of Tempolini's finances, and he's sort of, again, he's more of the, he's the smarter one of the bunch. And then from this, you can tell that the other guy is just a meathead. He's just a big goon of the group, Gask. He's just a gross, he's stupid. That's his character. And it's kind of a bland characterization, but that's the whole point, you know? When making a bunch of criminals, you gotta indulge in something, so Gask over here is definitely the big dumb type. Now Rez isn't a crazy mock or anything. He's pretty simplistic. Just looking at him, you know exactly what he's all about. But I've wanted to do this type of head design for a while, where it kind of just hangs off of the body really awkwardly. I'm not the biggest fan of the neck since it's black and nothing else on his body is really black besides a couple bones, so it does kind of look out of place. If this bone piece was red, I think it would be a lot better, but the head just kind of awkwardly floats outside of the body, which is, it's kind of bizarre. I don't know. It's very strange to see, but he's an alien, so I don't really consider it to be too out of the norm. I kind of see him as this weird looking alien dude. Now I try to stay away from Rakshi heads as much as possible because they are the most overused mask in all of BioTube. Everybody uses a Rakshi head at some point, but I like it here. Again, he's already a snake type of character, so it's a snake head. There's no denying that. The head is perfect for a snake-like character, so this is just the most appropriate head I could even think of for this guy. And he started completely differently, but I kind of worked from the ground up. I kind of changed him. I wanted to make him a lot more lankier. So his bones are a lot longer now. He has these weird legs. He has triple jointed legs, which don't even move that much, and that's kind of purposely done so that he can, he can do some weird stuff with his legs, because he's kind of a weird boneless snake creature thing, so that's what I was trying to go for there. Red and blue as colors are such fun combinations, so I really tried to stick with this golly blue here. It's not very prominent. You can only really see it in 4 places on the body. In fact, underneath this shoulder pad is actually a sand blue piece because I didn't have another regular blue, but you can barely notice it because it's just behind there. So the blue isn't a major part of the build. He's mostly red. It's kind of gross, but again, whatever. It's just he's not a major character. He's just kind of the side character who you see every once in a while, but he's not a major player in the season or anything. You know, when I make a MOC, I usually try to stick with interesting colors, but Gask here does not have very many interesting colors. Literally just gunmetal and silver and some orange highlights, but that's it. He is the most bare basic when it comes to color scheme. I still kind of like him though. I think he's interesting. You'll notice that both Gask and Rez both kind of continue on with a triple jointed style. That was completely not intentional because I built Gask pretty early on. I just randomly threw them together, and then I built friggin' Rez, and he just managed to have the exact same thing, and it was completely coincidental. So, oopsie. Really though, I just wanted to use this head really badly. I really like the way this head looks. I've always really liked Takedox as a character in general, so I really wanted to go all the way out with this head, and I filled it in. I made it a little bit more expressive, because originally this is just an armor piece for Takanuva, which was, again, is a weird choice, but I'm very glad that we got this armor now. So he's got orange eyes, and he's got a little tongue there, which is held in place by this weird, tech neck build there. Unfortunately, the head does do this a lot. It just rotates a ton. It's not that bad. It's not it's not wobble. It's not super loose. Obviously, if you move it, yeah. but it's not like, it doesn't really affect posing. Like, if you shake him around, it's not really going to do anything. Like, it's not a big deal. And then for the crown of the head or whatever, he has kind of like this weird spike thing going on with that armor piece there, and I think that looks kind of nice. It's got some decent shaping in there. Now, the interesting thing about Gask's arms is that they are triple jointed like Rez, but unlike Rez, they're bent very strangely. So his arms naturally look like this. This is what his arms just naturally. The bone is always bending backwards, and the idea that Rez can do is that he can extend his arm like that, and he can fling it forward and grab things, and that's pretty gross. His hand is nothing crazy. It's a very simple hand. I didn't even give him a thumb, because just whatever. That's supposed to be the thumb. That's pathetic. But he's got fingers, I guess. But the arm primarily stays bent back like that, which is something I don't often do. There's only 2 MOCs that I've known that I've ever done that for, and one of them is one of the defenders of the big space, actually. Overall, looking at the textures on Gask, I actually am very happy with what I've managed to pull off here. He's very cluttered. A lot of people will probably say that the style kind of conflicts, but he does have a lot of weird metal-looking things. So his chest is very metal and industrial. He's got these big pieces for the arms which are very industrial-looking. He's got lower leg joints. He's got these feet. They all just kind of carry that industrial vibe. But at the same time, he does have a very alien quality to him. He does very much look like some weird, bizarre alien. And I wanted to throw the trans orange there just as a little side color. I know the studs there don't really make too much sense. I don't really know why those are there. But moving on to his back, this is kind of interesting here. I don't really know what these are. They're just kind of like movable wings, and the idea is that they're, I guess these would be cannons, so they move down, and I guess he would shoot a little blast, but I can't imagine they'd be that powerful. They kind of act as like weird wings or like blades or something. I don't think he would take them off and actually use them as blades. I think they're literally just supposed to be like weird back blade cannon things. And then he does have another blade hanging off his back, which I don't even know why that's there. I just wanted to, I think I put it on there as a placeholder, but then I just kind of kept it there, so I don't really know why that's there. And also the back is filled with those old G1 pieces. You can see he's got 3 of them all right there, so that's kind of weird. And he does use the friggin' beast, or not beast, the protector feet in silver, which is kind of bizarre. It means his legs don't really move that well, unfortunately. But again, he is mostly, this is his primary, unlike Rez, who like stretches around, his legs pretty much always stay like that, unlike his arms, which like spring out, and he does have like little predator like wrist blades here. They don't extend, they always just remain like that. So yeah, he's kind of a weirdo, I'm not gonna lie. Now with these criminals, I like to keep them different because realistically there are so many different types of aliens in the Spaceverse, and there's so many, there's just a ridiculous number, and why would they look the same? Well, Rez and Gask do actually have very minor similarities. They're both triple jointed for the arms and legs. They both kind of have a little bit of a hunch demeanor. Not really Gask, but I know he does kind of look like a hunchback a little bit. That's really it. Besides that, they are pretty different. Besides the minor, posture similarities, they are very similar, and that was not even intentional. So sorry if it kind of comes off as lazy. It wasn't supposed to be. I think they look different enough to the point where it's not too distracting, but they are still very similar in build, which is a little unfortunate. Now you can see Tempolini, their boss, with Rez and Gask. So looking into these characters wasn't crazy extensive or even interesting. I didn't have a ton to talk about, I just wanted to showcase them. Rez and Gask are just stereotypical mobster villains. You have the one kind of wise-ass smart guy, and then you have the other one who's just a brick. He's not very smart at all. This was kind of an experiment when I was making them, just to see, what I could do with these characters, and I like their design a decent amount. I'm fully aware that they're not that good of MOCs in terms of what I've built. I know I've built much better than these guys. Even some of my other gangsters are a lot better than these guys. These guys are generally pretty generic. And again, I don't really like how they have almost an identical build, but overall I'm not really too bothered by it. They're very minor characters, so it's not really like I'm too affected by it. If they were major characters, I would be feeling different, but they are very just brief characters that aren't going to have a crazy role in Season 2 or anything like that, so overall I'm just not too bothered by it. Anyhow, thank you all so much for watching. I appreciate it very much, and yeah, I'll see you guys in the next MOC review. Talk to you guys later. Goodbye.